Today is finally the day. The long-awaited Five Nights at Freddy's X Dead by Daylight is finally here, and we have our first look at a trailer. So guys, together let's take a look at it and break it down and find any Easter eggs we can and figure out what's going on in this brand new Dead by Daylight edition.
Let's show that bad boy.
So there we have it. That was our first look at Springtrap in Dead by Daylight. So we don't get a lot from this little video. We mainly see these back rooms, which don't really look like much. They're not very interesting. The main thing is that we see Springtrap and his model and what he looks like. There's not much sound design to it, it's just him stepping and stuff, but what's really interesting is his design. He looks so good. I'm really happy with how he looks. I think they did amazing, but where it really gets interesting is these photos they drop, so let's get straight to that. So the first photo we have is Springtrap himself. This looks to be drawn or painted or something, and he is in the building that this is going to be taking place in. So first of all, he looks amazing. Like, let's get that out of the way. He looks fantastic. Look at the gore and the muscles on him. Like, it looks great. It looks so accurate. It looks fantastic. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is how he's missing his belly patch for some reason, but honestly, it's so easy to look past. But just comparing him to this picture, this official render, he looks so incredibly accurate. They did such an amazing job. And the background too, like these lights look great. They look like something from Security Breach. We've got balloons, obviously. That's a huge Five Nights at Freddy's thing. And all this gory stuff. So for anyone who hasn't played Dead by Daylight, this is a really common thing in a lot of their maps that they do. And then the last interesting thing is, of course, these arcade cabinets. So we get a lot more of this in the proper photos they release, so we'll take a look at those now. And the first thing we can see is that this is very movie inspired. This is the exact logo from the movie take on Five Nights at Freddy's, which is fine, and the building looks fine. It looks great. We can see a little poster just here. It looks to be the band, maybe the same one from the movie as well. Not that interesting, just a poster. A big reveal we do get here though is that there are going to be hooks in this one, which is a normal Dead by Daylight thing. Some people were thinking that there would be empty costumes that we get stuffed into, and that would have been fantastic. I would think that would have been really cool, but unfortunately it looks like we're just going to be going with normal hooks like they've done before, which is fine. It still looks great. We can see a bit more of that gore. It's pretty gross, but the outside of the building, I think this is like one of the first times we've had a good look at the outside of a building, and it looks really, really cool. And we can also see it's surrounded by like a lot of moss and green and foresty, so it looks like this is like a long abandoned building, kind of like the movie, which I think is just so cool, and I'm really, really happy about this. I think it looks awesome. Let's move on to the next photo. This next one is really interesting too. So it features the man of the hour himself, and I just gotta say, this model looks fantastic. Like, he's rotten, he's disgusting, all the wires and stuff. He looks great, and the muscle, like, it's so gross. It's so Springtrap. It's just so awesome, and it's really cool to see Five Nights at Freddy's finally going in more of a horror route, like actually being terrifying with blood and guts instead of what they're used to. So obviously what else we can see is his photo is that it's heavily based off the movie design as well. This is like one-to-one with the archway in the movie, just without the balloons. But everything else is the same. But what's really interesting is if you look down there, you can actually see someone walking. So this is likely one of the players, the Wii players, and then Springtrap hunts us down. They don't look to be Mike or anything interesting like that. But then, if you guys saw it, we got Freddy, Chica, and Bonnie in this, which is so awesome. So we actually have a closer look at them. So we'll just move on to that photo now. But yeah, take this in, like, this is such a cool photo. Okay, let's move on to that photo. So here we have a way better look at the animatronics, and it's like actually shocking how good they look. They look so cool, and they look really accurate. It's exciting to get new 3D models for the animatronics after all this time. Another thing I noticed is that Bonnie is so blue, which is so cool. But anyway, looking around this room, we can see that it's kind of based off the movie, but also kind of its own thing, which is another really exciting thing. We have never had such an accurate pizzeria before, so it's so amazing to see this and be able to explore it and have a 3D model and everything. Obviously, if you look here, you can see it has a huge hole in the ceiling, which I feel like is for like lighting and to show that it's really abandoned and stuff, which is perfectly fine. I think it adds to it. It looks really cool. And we can also see to the right, there's an arcade area, which is another really exciting thing that's really cool that I'm glad they're adding, because it just adds to like the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff. And this comes back to what I was talking about in that picture with the arcade cabinets. We see a lot of these, which we'll look at in the next photo I'll show in just a second. But I wanted to say in this photo, if you notice, Carl the Cupcake is gone. So I feel like there's a good chance that the animatronics won't do anything, but Carl is going to be one evil dude. He's going to be hunting us throughout the map to help Springtrap. And another thing, if you are wondering why everything's such a mess and there's like pallets and stuff, this is Dead by Daylight stuff for anyone who doesn't play it, so this is very normal. It looks weird in Five Nights at Freddy's, but trust me, this is like the most normal thing for Dead by Daylight. So yeah, I think they killed it. This looks great. We can see more of that gore stuff, which is gross. Let's move on to the next photo. So this photo, it's a bit more of the same. We just see a kind of different view. We can see a huge blood pool here, which is sick. We can see the animatronics, and again, Chico's definitely missing a cupcake. We get a better look at the arcade area. The light is so cool. But yeah, this one's not got as much going on. The tables are cool. That little present there, maybe that's something William lures the kids with. We got a generator just there, I think, which is another Dead by Daylight staple. So this one, I won't lie, not as interesting, but this next one we'll take a look at now is pretty interesting. So in this one, we get a really good look at the arcade cabinets, which look to be switched on and showing something. So this is probably going to be rich with Easter eggs. And then we have the elusive ball pit on the other side. So this is like a Five Nights at Freddy's staple, this stupid damn ball pit. It's been focused in so much. And there's a little shoe and blood. So maybe we're going to be here right after the murder of the kids, which is just insane. Then we can see a door leading straight down into some light. And next to it, we got some plush capture, I forget what they're called, claw machines, which is just so cool. But like, just looking at the detail of everything in here, like, this is so exciting, so cool. And we have even more. So we have a skin for Springtrap, and it is none other than Matthew Lillard himself. So with Dead by Daylight, this makes a lot of sense because they normally have very human and like realistic stuff going on, so it makes sense that they'd want to bring a real human being in. I'm not gonna lie, he doesn't look great. He doesn't look like Matthew Lillard. The costume looks fantastic. It looks a bit weird because it had to be more human proportions, I guess. But damn, this looks good. And the knife, it's giant. And I assume this is Five Nights at Freddy's stuff in the background too, the balloons and stuff. But yeah, Matthew looks great. The blood, the rips in the suit, like everything about this, it just looks fantastic. They knocked it out of the park. And to make it even better, they actually got Matthew in to voice him. So Springtrap is going to speak in this game. It's going to be Matthew in this mode. But who's going to voice him when it's normal Springtrap? Is it going to be the game voice? Like, that'd be so exciting. So I'm really eager to see what happens. And I'm also eager to see, is Springtrap, normal Springtrap, going to have a knife if Matthew Lillard one does? And is Matthew Lillard's one going to have a mask or anything? That's what I'm really excited to know. What do you guys think? Comment down below. But yeah, I think it's so cool. He's covered in so much blood. Like, this is so gory. This is so much gore for Five Nights at Freddy's, and it is so exciting. I feel like this is scraping the bottom of the barrel, but this is just so cool that they've finally had the balls to do stuff like this. It is so incredibly sick. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it for this video. This is all we've seen so far. Apparently, we are going to be getting a lot more looks at this and a lot cooler stuff, which is really exciting. We're going to see like more video and what Springtrap's like and stuff, and then this will finally release, and I'll cover it once it releases. But otherwise, like, this is so exciting. I feel like this is every Five Nights at Freddy's and especially Springtrap's fans' dream. Like, and the fact that it's like game and movie stuff is just so exciting. This is like, could not be better for Five Nights at Freddy's. I knew when this was announced that we were going to be in for some really fantastic stuff, but I did not imagine it would be this fantastic. So I am really excited to see this. So make sure to comment your thoughts down below. I really want to know what you guys have to say about this. Are you going to pick it up? Are you going to get into Dead by Daylight? Are you already a Dead by Daylight fan? Excited for this? Let me know, guys. Let me know in the comments. Let me know what you thought of this video. Let me know what you want to see next. And yeah, just let me know anything. If you're thinking about eating a pineapple, just let me know that. Let me know whatever you want. Anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment, because if you don't, I will literally kill you like Springtrap. Peace out.